and welcome to another episode of the Influential Nonprofit. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things ever, which is karaoke. Yes, here are some lessons from karaoke that are going to make you a better leader, a better fundraiser, and just an overall better human being. Yes, karaoke can teach you all of this. Now, I'm going to get into all of this, but first, let's back up a little bit because I want to share with you why this is important to me. And I love to sing. I'm a pretty good singer. I'll give it that. And every time you sing, you take a risk. Every time you step up, right? You're doing something that's a little bit scary. And standing in front of a room with a microphone, it feels surprisingly similar to asking someone for a lot of money, launching a new initiative, maybe having a difficult conversation, leading somebody through change. It's all about putting yourself out there in a meaningful way. So here are the lessons that I've learned how karaoke has made me a better human being, a better fundraiser, and a better leader. Here's where we're going to start with this is karaoke is a laboratory for courage. Leadership isn't about confidence. We want to think it is about confidence, but it's about acting before the confidence arrives. Nobody waits until they feel completely ready to sing. If they did, they'd never get on stage. If you were waited until you felt completely ready to make a change, you would never make that change. We act, and then the action creates the confidence. Asking for a gift, having a difficult conversation, launching a program, all of the things that we do, the courage comes first, the confidence becomes second. So when you grab that mic, you're showing the courage, and then the courage leads to confidence. So this is what we're going to talk about is where are you waiting for confidence when what you really need is courage? The courage first, confidence second. Remember, we work from the inside out in this podcast, in my coaching, we work from the inside out. Courage first, confidence second. Okay, here are some karaoke lessons for you, starting with lesson 1. One of my favorite lessons always is release the outcome. The more tied to a result you are, the less likely you will have that result. So when we release the outcome, when we let go of the result, new possibilities open up to us and we're more likely to get what we want. The biggest karaoke mistake people make is trying to control how everyone reacts. And your monkey mind starts spinning, right? Will they like me? Will I sound good? What if I embarrass myself? What if nobody claps? And the moment that you become attached to the outcome, you stop enjoying the experience. You stop living in the moment. We're living out of fear, like what if something goes wrong, instead of just letting go and letting it happen. Many fundraisers, right, we obsess over, will they say yes? When will they say yes? How much will they give? What if they reject me? We don't control the donor's decision, right? They have the sovereignty over that decision. But we do bring is how we show up, being authentic, making an invitation, building the relationship. I could say the healthiest ask is made with open hands, right? Your job is not to control outcomes. Your job is to show up and faithfully take action. And when we release the outcome and just show up, magical things happen. They truly, truly do. And when you just show up and grab that mic, magical things happen too. A couple weeks ago, I had some clients in town and we were working on a retreat all about self-expression. And guess what? We went to karaoke and they had not sung karaoke before. And I took them to the sweetest, tiniest, most nurturing place. And the reason I took them there was I knew that this was the least scary atmosphere that I could find, the most supportive atmosphere that they could try this in. And a couple of things happened. Well, in one person, she chose a pretty tough song, which is The Greatest Showman, This Is Me. But it meant a lot to her. And she started to sing and she was struggling a bit. And a couple of us went up there and we sang next to her and supported her. And in that moment, she let go of control and she just started singing. She was being authentic. She was feeling the music. And everyone cheered for her because she was just in there with the mic, taking action, releasing the outcome, and we were all there to support her. And stuff like that is so magical. So when we release the outcome, we let go of the results, we can allow for the magic. If I'm really tied to getting something, I'm acting out of fear. And when we act out of fear, we create more fear. When I can say, hey, whatever happens is going to happen and I'll be okay. I'm not going to be okay. I already am okay. Then we allow to really have deep, meaningful relationships because we're not trying to get somebody to do something all the time. Okay, that's lesson number 1. Release the outcome. Lesson number 2, nobody's judging you as much as you think. No one is paying as much attention to you as you think they are. Right? Everyone's going to notice my mistake. Like everyone, what if I get the note wrong? Most people are rooting for you. Most people want you to do well. And the same thing happens in leaderships, where we can become trapped by this imagined criticism, all of the dark thoughts in our head. All of a sudden, all you are creating representations for them with the people around you. You're really just assigning them thoughts like, oh, they're probably going to say this, or what if they say that, or what if I hurt somebody's feelings? Most people aren't hyper analyzing. We're all just trying to deal with our own, and get through our own day. Most people want you to succeed. Most people have the best intentions. I'm not saying this 100% of the time, but in general, people aren't judging you as much as you think they are. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, where we feel like there's a spotlight on us. And in karaoke, hey, there could be a spotlight on you for actual, but we dramatically overestimate how much attention others are paying to our mistakes. When you're meeting with somebody, a board member, a donor, somebody who has great importance, you're afraid, what if I don't have all the answers? What if I say something wrong or don't get it right? And those thoughts are going through your head, and they're not expecting perfection. They're not expecting that you're going to have everything like totally polished. They are not in the judgment place that you are with yourself. So just remember, no one's judging you as harshly as you're judging yourself. And listen, I do this too. I people sing and I'm like, oh, that was amazing. I love that. I totally hyper analyze every time I sing, right? I hyper analyze every speaking engagement. Oh, did I say that right? Did I do that right? It's just what we do. And this is not a problem you solve. I think this is more of a paradox we learn to manage well, which is that we just come to the understanding that this is just a judgment. It's our monkey mind. It really doesn't mean anything, and it's really not true to the situation. Okay, that's lesson 2. Lesson 3, discomfort is a sign of growth. The more uncomfortable you are, the more you're growing. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And karaoke feels uncomfortable because it stretches you. Leadership feels uncomfortable because it stretches you. The goal isn't to eliminate discomfort, right? The goal is to increase your capacity to be uncomfortable. Growth and comfort rarely occupy the same space. You can ask yourself, what if discomfort isn't a warning sign? What if it's evidence that I'm growing? Discomfort is evidence that you are stretching and growing. My friend Sherry sings in a band. She started this band maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But we've been singing karaoke together for decades. And she used to sing like the 5 same songs over and over and over again. Rarely introduced new songs into her repertoire. But she started this band and she really learned how to live with discomfort. She really stretched and put herself out there. And the other night we were at karaoke and she said, I think you should sing one song every time that scares you. And I'm like, well, isn't that a big shift? She learned how to increase her capacity for discomfort. And that can serve you in that moment when you have the mic. And that same feeling can serve you in so many other situations where you can increase your capacity for discomfort. You're just used to being uncomfortable. And that means you are growing. Listen, we are world changers. We are out to disrupt systems, to change lives. And we can't do that from the position of comfort. And when you allow yourself to live with discomfort, then you're being a model for other people around you. You can have challenging conversations. You can bring people into uncomfortable situations because you're going to model that behavior for them. You're going to show them how you can be uncomfortable, because all the work we do is really based on disrupting systems, difficult conversations, and making people feel, not making people feel uncomfortable, but living with the discomfort. All right, that's lesson 3. Discomfort is a sign of growth. Lesson 4, here we go. You don't have to be the best to be effective. You don't have to be the best to be effective. Some of the best karaoke performers are not the best singers, right? I have a friend, he is energy personified, and he's just up there singing and jumping around and having the best time. It's because he's authentic. He's committed. He's having fun. He's not bound to the outcome. And the same is true in your work. People don't expect perfection, but they do support and want passion. To be effective is to be passionate, authentic, true, aligned. Not perfect. You don't have to hit every note. It's okay. Donors support conviction. They support authenticity. That is what we want to look for. Many fundraisers lose gifts because they're trying to sound professional. They're trying to sound polished, right? They want to present in a certain way. And that feels inauthentic, and it can be a turnoff. What drives people to you is authenticity and passion. That's what makes you contagious. Right? That's what makes people say, who is this organization? What are they doing? I want to know. So connection beats perfection every time. So when I'm up there on the mic, I want to connect with an audience. I want to commit to the song, no matter where it takes me. Right? That is going to endear people to me more than being perfect. Have you ever seen a singer that's really good and really perfect, but you're just not getting anything from them? Like there's no emotion. That's what that feels like. And so when you're in relationships, when you're building relationships in the community, with donors, with board, with staff, it's the same thing. You know, it's about passion and commitment and authenticity. That's what people are drawn to. All right, now let's go to lesson 5. Your song choice matters. How you do things matters, and it can be tailored to suit you. Right? And not every song fits every singer. And that's really one of the secrets of singing karaoke, is finding songs that fit your voice. There's a million songs out there. Right? Just find a couple that fit your voice. You can do that. But leaders often get into trouble because they try to lead like somebody else. They're not doing what works for them. Or they're buying into predetermined programs or scripts or templates that somebody says, if you say it like this, if you do it like this, if you act like this, then it'll work. And it's like, well, I'm doing exactly what you said and it's not working for me. It's because it's just not the fit for you. When I coach and train people on how to build better relationships, what we work on is how they themselves can approach it and build it authentically from what works best for them. Because if it's working well for them, then it will work and other people will get attached to it. Your power comes from understanding your unique voice, your unique presence. That's where your power lies. So the question is, and not how do I become more like somebody else? The question is, how do I become more fully myself and embrace who I am instead of who I think I should be? In a karaoke metaphor, you would love to maybe sing this song, but that's really not for you. That's not your voice. So finding who you are and accepting it and loving it and working with it will get you a lot farther. So your approach matters. And what we want is, how do I become more fully myself? And once you do that, whatever approach you choose will work for you. Okay, we're rolling along now. Lesson 6, starting is the hardest. The first 10 seconds are the worst. The greatest fear when you're up there on the mic isn't singing, it's walking onto the stage, because once the music starts and you start singing, it really does get easier. And the same is true for anything. It's just making the ask. It's getting started, picking up the phone, whatever it is, just starting, moving into action. And it was so funny because, I told you I brought my clients to the little karaoke bar, and another client, she sang, and she did great. And she was so excited when she was done, and she said, the hardest part was getting started. And she was actually thinking about singing another song. So starting the difficult conversation, making the presentation, picking up the phone and calling, the anticipation is almost always worse than the action. And then fear thrives in delay, because then it gives our brain a chance to start filling it with thoughts, and our subconscious starts to take over. And so we want to, but as soon as we start to act, then we're going to flip out of that subconscious and into the prefrontal, and we're going to find the courage. The courage grows through movement, not through delay. And so just think about getting started. If you can just start, then you can keep going. Courage comes through movement and stepping into it. Sooner or later, you just got to grab the mic and sing. Sooner or later, you're just going to have to pick up the phone. Sooner or later, you're just going to have to sit down and say what you truly want. And once you start, you can keep going. All right, lesson 7. The audience loves you and wants the best for you. You think about karaoke audiences. People cheer for the person who keeps going even after they screw up. And even more for them, for their resilience, for them sticking with it, for them doing something that when their whole body is like, run, and they sit there and they stand in the discomfort. The same is true in leadership. Your team doesn't need a flawless leader. Your donors don't need a flawless fundraiser. They need somebody who just keeps showing up, right? People trust persistence more than perfection. They trust resilience. They trust authenticity. One of the sayings I have is, I'm not perfect, but I'm awesome. Because I'm not perfect, but I am awesome. Because I keep showing up. I keep trying. It's always persistence over perfection. That is how we truly stay in motion. Things are going to happen. Things are going to go wrong. It's okay. And if we just keep showing up through all that, that's when respect grows, alignment grows, courage grows, and your authenticity grows. And that is the number one value people are attracted to is authenticity. There's so much filter posing in the world right now. People want authentic and honest. And that is about embracing imperfection. That is about showing up even when it's not perfect, showing up even when you're not sure. That's what people respect. Remember, the most vulnerable person in the room is the most powerful person. And when you embrace your vulnerability, when you embrace your mistakes, it makes people respect you more, not less. All right, number 8. We're clocking through these now, my friend. The more you do it, the more you become yourself. The first karaoke performance is probably terrifying. Maybe the 10th is easier. Maybe the 100th becomes fun. Fundraising and leadership follow the same pattern. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Confidence isn't built through thinking. It's built through doing and trying. Permission to be bad to be good. Permission to be good to be great. You may not be that good at it first. I coach and train people on how to have conversations with donors and to learn this format really rooted in listening and understanding the donor's needs and meeting those needs. And the first time you do it, it can feel a little clunky. But maybe the 10th time you do it, it doesn't feel clunky. And then the 100th time you do it, it feels super natural. Where it's built through repetition. So just keep trying. A lot of times we'll start something and we think, oh, maybe that didn't go so well. I'm not going to do it anymore. But you're not giving yourself permission to be bad. It's like, hey, I haven't had any swim lessons, but I'm going to throw myself into the deep end and wonder why I'm flailing around. It takes practice, and it takes just staying in there. and repeating it and going over and over and over again. Repetition builds capacity. It's not perfection, it's just with repetition. So those are um, the 8 reasons why karaoke can make you a better leader, a better fundraiser, a better human being. It really does teach you how to be loving and accepting of yourself and other people. Like I have friends and they really love the competitions, the karaoke competitions. They go to all these contests. Sometimes they fly in other parts of the country and do these contests. That is not for me. Um, and I get that, but in my estimation, karaoke is where everybody wins just from doing it, just from stepping into the discomfort. And what it has taught me is that leadership isn't about, the perfect voice, and it is not about the perfect words, and it isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about stepping onto the stage, taking the microphone, and trusting whatever happens, you're okay. Not you'll be okay, you're okay. One of my coaches taught me many years ago, it's like, I'm not going to be okay. I am okay. I'm already okay. In this moment, no matter what's happening, I'm okay. Everything is designed to teach you a lesson if you're willing to learn the lesson. The magic isn't in hitting every note, the magic is just being willing to sing. And that's all life is, just being willing to take a risk, even if you're not sure what's on the other side. Because if you don't take a risk, or if the only time you take a risk is when you know what's on the other side, that's not a risk, and that really doesn't happen. So getting comfortable with standing up, grabbing that mic, and going for it will help you in so many areas of your life. So here's a little listener challenge for you. What is your karaoke moment right now? What's the ask that you've been avoiding? The conversation you've been postponing? The risk that up to this point you've been unwilling to take? What is the dream you've been waiting to feel ready for? Then ask yourself, let's take the stage this week. Don't wait to feel ready, just start singing. What's something you could do right now that would help you move into the direction of what you want? And just start. Remember, the first 10 seconds are the hardest. You did not know that karaoke could teach you so much about fundraising and about leadership and about life. The whole point is just get up there, grab the mic, and sing. Everything else will work itself out. Everything else is going to go in the way that it's meant to go. But if we don't grab the mic and sing, if we don't step in discomfort, we can't make the change that we truly, truly want. And yes, this is a lighthearted analogy, but it's also serious because, again, we are change makers, we are disruptors, we are out to change systems. And that requires the ability to step into discomfort, to step into the unknown, to take risks, to push ourselves and others, to make change. And you can do this. And if it takes a few nights at the karaoke bar, I am with you. I'm showing up for you 100%, and I will cheer you on. No problem. So that's it for me and this episode of The Influential Nonprofit. If you want to connect with me one-on-one, my link is always in the show notes. I'm happy to chat with you a little bit more about how we can work with you to find your authentic voice, to build relationships that actually turn into action, to build a community of support in a way that feels aligned, authentic, exciting, and that in ways that you can communicate your passion to others so they will want to support your cause. And that's it for me in this episode of The Influential Nonprofit. We'll see you next time.